Hey guys, this is Shane. I wanted to give you the process that I use for recording an album from start to end. So this video will be broken up into different sections, and then I'll hopefully show you the final result of one of the songs at the end with some overlays from the bits that we hopefully record with the cameras. So the first thing I should point out is this album came about kind of out of the blue. A friend of mine, Drew, who plays drums, he basically said to me, hey, I got a week off, do you want to record? And I thought to myself, I don't really have any real original songs that I'm working on for the first time in a long time. I just don't have too many of those ideas floating around. I had a couple of ideas, but nothing too much. I didn't want to go ahead and record your conventional blues album with lots of guitar solos, all that kind of stuff. So I thought, you know what else I'd like to do? Based on my last album, which was kind of that J.J. Cale influence sort of sound, bit of Van Morrison, that kind of thing, I thought, you know what? I'd love to do a J.J. Cale style album, maybe do a few of his songs as well, and put our own little bit of touch to it as well, because, you know, we don't live in Tulsa and all of that kind of thing. We have our own way of playing. So, you know, take some great songs and produce an album based around that sort of sound. So the first step of doing this, for me at least, was to get all the songs that I wanted to get organized the day prior. So I went through my catalog of J.J. Cale songs, wrote down 10 or 12 of my favorites, found the lyrics, and then basically categorized them here. So I have all the words and all the parts where I wanted the solos and all of that kind of thing. It made the process a whole lot easier having all the lyrics that I could just scroll through on the computer as we were playing and basically get all the arrangements done, because that's one of the most important things. I said to my friend Drew, who was playing drums, before we even hit record, let's go over the endings a few times so we don't have to go back and do them again. So we did that before we even hit record. We got nearly all of these songs done in one take in terms of the drums. Some we tried a different feel or a little bit faster or slower, but they were all good and we absolutely flew through it. So having the arrangements was really, really cool. And one thing I like to do is have a guide vocal track getting recorded as well as a guide guitar track, and then I go back and replace them both. The benefit of doing this when we're both wearing headphones is the fact that I can say to Drew, okay, we're going to a solo, or bring it down, or, you know, last time around, or turn around, or whatever. And then I also have a reference track coming back at me when I record all my parts. I think this is really important. I'll show you a little bit about that process now. So as you can see, what I'm doing right here is essentially singing really, really softly into this condenser microphone that we can hear in our headphones, and this becomes the guide track. You can't actually hear my guitar either. Well, you might be able to hear it clacking around just because of the video camera, but over the drums you don't actually hear that at all. You can see Drew playing along, I can hear him perfectly. We have some reverb set up in our headphones as well, so it sounds really, really huge. And just for an amplifier sound, I'm using the Joyo American sound pedal, which is awesome. I've been using that for years for this exact process. This is a really great way of working, and it essentially lets you change things on the fly, because you can essentially say, all right, let's do a second solo here, and you can let the drummer know, as well as all the sections of the songs where the vocals are coming back in. It just makes it really, really easy. Depending on the type of music you're playing, having a bass player at this particular point is also a really cool thing, but it's not essential as well. If you know the songs, it's just a matter of getting together and keeping time and keeping on the groove. Session 2 for me personally was getting down some of my guitar parts and deciding on a tone. Now you might be wondering, how did you decide on a particular sound or which guitar to use? For me, I just thought, you know what, a Telecaster is such a great rhythm instrument. It's also a really great lead instrument, but it kind of fits the vibe of this kind of music. So I just decided on middle pickup, lay it down relatively clean, and the reason I went for more of a clean tone is it seems to retain more body, it doesn't get too compressed and all of that kind of stuff. It just sounds better in the mix in my opinion, at least for the main rhythm tracks. I may layer these up as this particular video has already been shot, but I'm basically choosing most of my rhythm tracks to be relatively clean for the more traditional JJ stuff. We do have a couple of originals thrown in here as well. These ones will most likely have a little bit more dirt or just a sound that works for those. Might be two separate projects, I'm not really sure. Alright, so there's almost nothing harder for me than laying down a good rhythm track for an album. The reason it's so tough is because I get so particular with what I'm playing and how I'm playing and keeping it consistent
so it doesn't change too much over the course of the song. I may have different areas where I'll add a few extra little bits and pieces, but generally I don't want to noodle at all when I play rhythm parts, especially for this kind of album. Being that it's a sort of like a Tulsa sounding blues album, I kind of don't want to do too much more than what I already have, or what the actual song kind of gave me to work with. So on this particular tune, I'm just going to keep it really, really simple, try to lock into the pocket and hope for the best. So yeah, I muted the guide track and I'm hoping I can get the turnaround right because I'm kind of struggling with it at the moment.
In my opinion, the hardest thing to do when trying to lay down a really great rhythm track is just locking into the pocket and focusing only on the groove and where the drums are sitting, making sure you're playing something that feels good to listen to.
So today what I'm going to do is do some vocals. I just woke up. Something about just waking up and trying to sing is good. My mind's pretty clear. I thought, you know what? This is my best bet at it, and there's something about sometimes when you wake up, your voice is a little bit huskier than normal. So I'm going to go with that anyway. I've just had some caffeine and I'm going to try just doing the breeze. We'll see how we go. Well, they call me the breeze 'cause I keep blowing down the road. Well, they call me the breeze 'cause I keep blowing down the road. I ain't hiding from nobody, I ain't carrying no heavy loads. Let's have a listen. So what I like about doing albums this way is that I can just listen to all my vocal takes and pick the best parts. If something sounds good on a particular track, I keep it. If it doesn't, I just delete it. I've already deleted one part just off camera right here. Let's have a listen. I got the green light, babe. I got people out of here. I got the green light, babe. I got people. There's still no bass guitar down here either. It's just vocals, guitar, and drums. I might go up to California, might go down to Georgia, might stay here. Yeah, man. Yeah, they call me the breeze. Yeah, I don't know if I should be saying yeah, but I got the arrangement vocally off a live take, so let's see what this next one's like. Well, they call me the breeze 'cause I keep blowing down the road. My recording setup is easy peasy. So, guitar, straight out, cable, Blues Deluxe, and this is my settings. Hopefully this will focus. Goes, yep. So cranked. Then from there, I bypass all of my monster drinks and it goes into this guy, which goes into channel 1 on this guy, and that is it. So no effects, and what I'm using right here is Nuendo still. I've been using this for years. It works great. I don't find any need to change to the Mac. I know this really well. I got all the plugins I need and all that kind of stuff, so while I do all my video editing on the Mac, and it's awesome. Nuendo is fantastic, so I'm going to stick with it, and it is sounding pretty sweet. So we're going to just try the breeze. My hands are a little cold, so this might take me a couple of goes. I like it. Let's save that.